When we look at a number like 35, each digit in this number has its own value. There is a number in the ones place and a number in the tens place. Let's have a closer look at each number to see its true value. The ones place is furthest to the right. The number in the ones place always equals itself. In our number 35, the 5 is in the ones place. Its value is just that, 5. It is represented by the 5 ones cubes. The next place over is the tens place. The number in the tens place is always 10 times the value the number shown. It's like counting by tens to the number you see. In our number 35, the 3 is in the tens place. We can find its value by counting by tens 3 times. Let's try it. 10, 20, 30. The value of the 3 is 30. Another trick you can remember is to just put a 0 at the end of the number. The 3 in 35 is represented by the 3 tens blocks, which equals 30. In the number 26, the 6 is in the ones place and the 2 is in the tens place. The 6 is worth just 6, which is represented by 6 cubes. The 2 is worth 20 because it is in the tens place and is represented by the 2 long tens blocks. You can count by tens using the base 10 blocks or just count in your head. 10, 20. I'll leave you with a challenge. Can you tell the value of the digits in the number 52? What is the value of the 5? What is the value of the 2? I'll give you some time to think, but if you need more time, you can pause the video and answer when you're ready. Okay, here's the answer. The 2 is in the ones place, so it's just worth 2. The 5 is in the tens place, so we'll have to count by tens 5 times. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. The value of the 5 is 50. Remember to look at the place the digit is in before you decide the value of that number. Thanks for watching, boys and girls. See you next time. When we look at a number like 300, only the 3 in the hundreds place has any value. There is a 0 in the ones place and a 0 in the tens place. Let's have a closer look at 300 to uncover the mystery of the hundreds place. The hundreds place is the furthest left in our number 300. Since there are no other digits of value in either the ones or the tens place, we can look right to the hundreds place. There is a 3 in the hundreds place. We can count by hundreds to find the value of this digit. 100, 200, 300. Check out this number, 600. Only the 6 in the hundreds place has any value. There is a 0 in the ones place and a 0 in the tens place. Let's have a closer look at 600 to uncover the mystery of the hundreds place again. The hundreds place is the furthest left in the number 600, and since there are no other digits of value in either the ones or the tens place, we can look right to the hundreds place again. There is a 6 in the hundreds place. We can count by hundreds to find the value of this digit. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and 600. I'll leave you with a challenge. Can you tell the value of the digits in the number 400? What's the value of the 4? I'll give you some time to think, but if you need more time, you can pause the video and answer when you're ready. Okay, here's the answer. The 4 is in the hundreds place, so it is just worth 400. we can count by hundreds. 100, 200, 300, 400. The ones in the tens places have zeros, so there is no value there. The number is 400. Remember to look at the place the digit is in before you decide the value of that number. Thanks for watching, boys and girls. See you next time. You can count by tens up to 100 using your fingers. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. You'll see we used all our fingers. It took 10 times. There are 10 tens inside 100. Let's check out the base 10 blocks to make sure it's true. We can see that one long has 10 cubes in it. So if we have 2 longs, that's 20 cubes. Well, what if we had 10 tens or 10 longs? Well, that would give us 100, just like we counted by 100. But what if we had 20 longs? How much is that worth? Is there an easier way to say 20 longs? Is there a trade we can make? If each long is worth 10, we can count each long as 10. If we put 10 of the longs together, we can trade it for 100. If we take the other 10 longs, we can trade it for another 100. Now instead of counting the 20 longs, we can just count the 200s. 100, 200. That was a lot easier. What about 30 longs? How much is that worth? Is there an easier way to say 30 longs? Is there a trade we can make? If each long is worth 10, we can count each long as 10, just like before. If we put 10 of the longs together, we can trade it for 100. If we take another 10 longs, we can trade it for another 100. We can take the last 10 longs and trade it for another 100 too. Now, instead of counting the 30 longs, we can just count the 300s. 100, 200, 300. 30 longs is the same as 300. That was a lot easier. I'll leave you with the challenge. Can you tell the value of 40 longs? Is there a trade you can make to say this in an easier way? I'll give you some time to think, but if you need more time, you can pause the video and answer when you're ready. Okay, here's the answer. If each long is worth 10, we can count each long as 10. If we put 10 of the longs together, we can trade it for 100. We can take the other 10 longs and trade it for another 100. We can take another 10 longs and trade it for another 100. We can take the last 10 longs and trade them for another 100. Now instead of counting the 40 longs, we can just count the 400s. 100, 200, 300, 400. That was a lot easier. Remember, 10 tens is worth 100. Thanks for watching, boys and girls. See you next time. Hello, boys and girls. It's Teacher Mike here. Today we're going to be looking at a worksheet called Jack-o'-lantern Math. In this worksheet, we're going to have to take numbers that are in expanded form and put them back into standard form. Standard form is what we think of when we see regular numbers, like 754. Expanded form is when we take those numbers in standard form and we break them up by the value of each digit. For example, 700 plus 50 plus 4. But how do we take numbers that are in expanded form and put them back into standard form? Well, let's start with a simple place value chart. Our place value chart will include hundreds, tens, and ones because we know our number has 3 digits. If we put a 700 or a 7 in the hundreds place, followed by 2 zeros in the tens or ones, we put our 5 in the tens place, which turns out to be 50 with a 0 in the ones place, and our 4 in the ones place, and we line them up nice and neatly, we'll see that these are quite easy to add, because then you just have 4 plus 0 plus 0, which is 4, 5 plus 0, which we know is just 5, and 7 plus nothing, which of course is just 7, and we've returned our expanded form number back into standard form of 754. Let's use this strategy to complete the rest of the worksheet. Our first example has 100 plus 20 plus 2. So let's start off with our place value chart, hundreds, tens, and ones. We'll start with 100 with a 1 in the hundreds place, 20 with a 2 in the tens place and a 0 in the ones place, and of course a 2 in the ones place with nothing else. We'll add these numbers up, and again, adding these numbers is quite easy because everything is either plus 0 or plus nothing. 2 plus 0 plus 0, of course, is just 2. 2 plus 0 in the tens place is also 2. And 1 plus nothing in the hundreds place is 1. Now we can just read this number, as we would any number. You'll see the correct answer is 122. You can circle that, our third answer choice. Our next example has us adding 300 plus 60 plus 5. Let's make our place value chart with hundreds, tens, and ones. Put a 3 in the hundreds place, followed by 2 zeros to make the 300, a 6 in the tens place and a 0 in the one place, and a 0 in the ones place to make 60, and a 5 in the ones place to make 5. We'll add these numbers up, and again 5 plus 0 is 5, 6 plus 0 is 6, and 3 plus nothing is 3, giving us a number in standard form of 365. We can go ahead and circle our second answer choice. Our last example has us adding 500 plus 30 plus 9, which of course is a number in expanded form. Let's make our place value chart to turn this expanded form number back into standard form. Start with a 5 in the hundreds place, followed by 2 zeros to make our first number of 500. We'll add 30 with a 3 in the tens place and a 0 in the ones place. And lastly, we'll add our 9 with just a 9 in the ones place. When we add these numbers up, you can see adding is as easy as the other two examples. 9 plus 0 is 9, 3 plus nothing is 3, and 5 plus nothing is 5. It's quite easy to read this number in standard form. We have 539, our first answer choice. So remember, boys and girls, when you're trying to turn numbers from expanded form back into standard form, the two most important things you can do are make yourself a place value chart and make sure your numbers are lined up nice and neatly. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Hello. Welcome back. Today we have a new worksheet, and the name of our worksheet is called Math Balloons Place Value. The directions say convert the amount to standard form and circle the correct balloon. So let's take a look at our worksheet here. We've got our first problem, and it's written out in written form. It says 4 hundreds, 5 tens, and 7 ones. And what I like to do when we're talking about place value is to put everything in a T-chart to kind of figure out where everything is supposed to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a T-chart like this, and it starts off like a T because usually what we're doing is we're working with ones and tens, but because here we're also working with the hundreds place, I'm going to add a new section over here, and I'm going to add a hundreds place right here. So let's read through that again. It says 4 hundreds, so I'm going to put the 4 in the hundreds place. And then it says 5 tens, so I'm going to put the 5 in the tens place, and then 7 ones, okay? And it's written, when you write it out in standard form, it looks just like that. It's all squished together. It's 4, 5, 7, which we read 457. So let's look for 457 over here with our balloons. And it looks like it's the first one right here, isn't it? 457. This is the correct balloon, and the directions say circle the correct balloon. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to circle that one right there. That's the standard form of this number, okay? Now let's go on to the next one. The next one says 300s, 0 10s, and 0 1s. So again, let's make our T chart, but it's not a T anymore because we've got hundreds place. It looks more kind of like this. It kind of looks like two T's that are stuck together, right? And we've got our hundreds place and our tens place and our ones place. So the direction says 300s, so I'm going to put that in the hundreds place. There's a 3, and 0 10s, 0, and 0 1s, 0. And when we squish it all together, what number is that? Can you read that number for me? Yes, it's 300. Very good. So let's see if we can find that. We've got 333. Nope, that's not it. Oh, here it is, 300 right here. And we've got some other options here, but we already found it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to circle that one right here. 300 is the standard form of 300s, 0 10s, and 0 1s. You're doing a great job. Let's keep going, okay? All right, we've got 2 more. The next one says 600s, 2 10s, and 8 1s. So let's go over here and make our T chart. Okay, and once again, we have H in this side over here for the hundreds place, and we've got T for the tens place, and an O for the ones place, and it's always going to be in that order right there, okay? So 600s, well, where's the 6 going to go? Yep, it's going to go right over here in the hundreds place. Very good, 6 right here. And then what's the next one say? How many tens are there? There are 2 10s, so we're going to put 2 right here in the tens place, and then we've got 8 1s, okay? So let's put that all together and let's read it. What does that say? That would be this number right here, okay? And that's going to be 628. Can you help me find that number over here? 628. That's not right. That's not right. What about this one? 682. Oh, I thought that was it at first, but I have to read it all the way through. That's not right either. Here it is, 628. That's our number that we put over there in our T chart. So very good. Go ahead and circle that last one there, okay? And we've got one more here. The next one, let's start once again with our T chart. And let's write that out. We've got our ones place right over here, and our tens place, and our hundreds place, okay? So it says 900s, okay? So I'm gonna put that right here with the hundreds, okay? And then 8 10s, all right? So I'm gonna put the 8 right here in the tens place, and 4 1s, all right? And then let's write that out to the side all squished together. 984, do you know how we would read that? That would be 984, 984. Let's see if we can find that down here. 984, there's a 900, but that's not right, is it? 900, and here it is, 84. It's this blue one right here. Great job today. You worked so hard in your place value and you were able to write all of those or find all of those in standard form. Bye-bye. Today we have a new worksheet, and the name of our worksheet is called Prepare for Takeoff Place Value. I love place values. These can be lots of fun. What we're going to do is we're going to read the directions. It says, circle the cloud that shows the value of the underlined digit. So our airplanes or our helicopters here, they are all carrying a number, and what we're trying to figure out is how much the underlined number, or the number in blue here, how much that represents. It's not just the number, like this one, for example, isn't just 8. Because of where it is, we have to figure out how much that's worth. And we're going to decide how much it's worth, and we're going to circle it below in our clouds. So this is what I like to do for place value. I like to make a chart to fit everything in, okay? So I'm going to start first, and I'm going to write out my number. And my number is 50,828. Okay, so I'm going to put this in my chart right here, and I actually want to draw lines between each number to help keep me organized. I like to keep organized, so this is what I'm going to do here, and you can follow along with me. Our first number here is the closest to the end of our number. This is the number on the right, and this represents ones. So this means that there are 8 ones. This number right here is our tens, so I'm going to write a T to represent 10. This number is our hundreds place right here, and then this is thousands, So I'm going to write a TH, and this is 10 thousandths, okay? So I'm going to write a T and a TH, okay, for 10,000. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out how much this number is worth right here. And this number is an 8, but it's in what place value? It's in the hundreds place value. So this number actually represents not only 8, but 800. Okay, so I'm going to add 2 zeros to the end because it's 800. And then I'm going to find that number over here in my cloud. So I've got 8, 800, and 8,000. It's 800, so I'm going to circle that number right there. Great job. Okay, let's go to the next one. Our next one here is on the helicopter. And again, I want to plug this kind of into my little chart to keep everything organized, okay? So let me start with the number. The number is 41,200, okay? And I'm going to space those out just a little bit so I can draw the lines in between. So I'm going to draw lines between each number here to keep myself organized, just like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to label each one. So this 0 represents the ones place. This is the tens place. This is the hundreds place. This is the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands place. Okay, and this is our 10,000s place. Okay, so what number are we looking for? We're looking for the 4 right here, and I'm going to underline that just like they did below. So how much does this number represent? Well, this represents 10,000s. Now, it would be 4 in the 10,000s place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this, I'm going to write the 4, and I'm just going to put zeros behind the rest, okay? So if I'm going to read this, this is 40,000. This is the number 40,000. So I'm going to look for that number with 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros at the end. So let's go over here. Do we see it? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is our number, but I just want to make sure. This has 2 zeros. This has 3 zeros. So this was right. This was in the right place. And I filled this with zeros. Even if I didn't know what this number is, each one of these places behind it could be filled with a 0 to help us find out. Unless it was in the ones place, because there wouldn't be any zeros, right? Once we get to 10, we just keep adding ones. So this is our number right here, okay? 40,000. All right, so let's look at the next one. Our next number, we're going to plug this in here, and I'm going to write it out. I've got 7, 5, 4, 7, and 2. And we're going to put lines in between each one of these to help keep us organized. And this number is 75,472. And each one of these numbers represents a certain amount. So this 2 represents the ones place. This 7 represents tens, hundreds, right here for the 4, thousands, and this is 10,000s. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to figure out what number are they looking for. They're looking for the 7, right? So we're going to underline the 7. And you remember how we did this last time? We took the 7 and then we filled the rest with zeros, right? So there's a 0 here, and there's a 0 here, and there's a 0 here, and there's a 0 here, which is the number 70,000. So let's come down here and see if we can find it. That's 70,000. So there we go. We're going to circle that right here. And that is the end of our worksheet for our place value. So great job figuring out what each one of these numbers represent. Thanks. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Subscribe to our channel to stay updated on new videos. Find links to our apps in the comments below.